Good morning, Sales Academy followers, podcasters, listeners, YouTubers, Tweeters, LinkedIners, Facebookers, everything in between us. You know who you are as and where you are as. And thank you for listening from all around the world. The feedback that we're getting and the outputs that we're getting from this podcast is way beyond anything I could have imagined. So I'm extremely humble and grateful for the people that are not just listening, but also lurking and listening for a period of time, because things do take time to build that trust. That know, like, and trust does take time. And the whole point of me committing in lockdown to these musings, I wanted to share with our audience and people that are listening but don't really know us yet and stuff, and people that stumble across us and find us, or maybe they search up a topic that's affecting them in life, and funnily enough, we've got a musing on it. So I wanted to share tidbits and snippets of conversations that are holding people back, things that are happening in real life, in business, in conversations, and we just kind of talk it through, and it resonates with people. It's landing. So it's also then converting into very good business for us at Sales Academy. It's become our second strongest lead source, our podcast. So that's why I say I'm very humble and grateful. But the purpose for doing it was not to become our second biggest lead source. The purpose of doing it was to spread some knowledge and some information for free and to support people and help people, because we can do that bigger and wider by using great platforms like this. Okay. The other is a byproduct, and a very nice byproduct, but it's still a byproduct. Behave on purpose, act on purpose, do things on purpose, and things happen, right? Purpose led. So today's podcast is not about that. Today's episode, today's musing is called "The Dishwasher Is Not Mine." All right. Now, this came up in a family conversation, but I think is relevant to life and business, and parents will get it, but also managers, leaders will get it, and stuff, and colleagues and all that sort of stuff as well. The dishwasher is not mine, and this is kind of getting into shared responsibility territory, right? Now, those of you that know me know that I'm a massive fan of personal accountability and personal responsibility, but we don't work in silos. So this shared responsibility is also I think it falls into the elephant in the room, the invisible man syndrome. Because if there's anything that's got a level of shared responsibility, it's easy for people to opt out and hide away and not get involved, which is, by the way, is a passive aggressive behavior anyway. I'll leave that one with you. It gives people the opportunity to be unseen and to opt out. But then what happens is the job doesn't get done, because it's somebody else's responsibility, right? So that's not shared responsibility. So the conversation came up at home about this dishwasher is not mine. And it came from an angle of, like, I was chatting to the kids one day, and my boy is, we've got 4 kids, but talking specifically my 2, my boy is 11 years of age. My daughter is 16 now, done her GCSEs and stuff. So there's a 5-year gap. So there are differences in their attitudes, abilities, capabilities, and all that sort of stuff. But I've never, ever treated my kids from the point of view that they are babies, right? For even when they were, I wasn't doing the gaga goo goo and stuff. Chatter matters. So talking, lowering myself to their sort of height and all that sort of stuff, and having conversations, eye contact, all that sort of stuff matters. But also talking in the way that we talk in everyday life also matters. So there's always context, there's always analogies to be able to help understand things, but fundamentally, we don't avoid difficult conversations. We don't avoid having conversations about this stuff. So it was bigger than just the dishwasher. And it's things like, I had a conversation with my boy, and I was like, listen, I don't expect you to be doing all of the housework. I don't want you to be doing all the housework. I don't want to rob you of your joy of childhood and playing and having fun, but you are a member of the house. So one of the things I'm going to hold you to accountable to start off with is, do not create me more work. And I was like, okay. I said, so let me explain what I mean by that. I said, if you get a glass of orange juice, and when you're filling the glass of orange juice, you spill orange juice on the side, don't walk away and leave it for someone else to clean up, because that's creating me more work. If you spill some on the carpet, don't just ignore it, because now there's carpet to be cleaned. And if it's orange juice and it's dried and it's stained, that's creating me more work. So I'm not asking you to be every single day on it with chores, but don't create me more work. That's where it started. So we had those conversations, there was levels of acceptance and discussion and stuff and awareness, and it was all shifting, and it was great. And it still is, and it's progressed and it's evolved, right? Which is brilliant. But the dishwasher, I'd go into the kitchen and stuff was in the bowl. And the way we kind of do it in our house is I have a kitchen sink, and I have a bowl to fill and stuff like that, because, you know, kitchen sinks don't always hold the water and blah, blah, blah. And this one I've just never tried it. I just got a washing up bowl for when I want to wash some things up without putting a dishwasher on, you know. But I'm not a big fan of the washing up bowl sitting in the bowl in the main sort of sink, and like food and stuff getting stuck on the bottom of it or whatever. It just does my head in. Probably OCD, I don't know. So if the bowl's there and the sink is there, what started to evolve was dirty stuff would go in the bowl and dirty stuff would go in the sink, but it was just like being put there and it was somebody else's job, right? So we had this conversation. I took the kids into the kitchen. I said, look at this. I said, what is this? And they're like, it's a dishwasher. I said, cool. Whose is it? And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, whose dishwasher is it? And they're like, well, ours. I was like, yeah, it is ours. Dishwasher is not mine. So it's not my responsibility to load it with dirty dishes. It's not my responsibility to empty it of clean dishes. If the dishwasher is ours, and we collectively need the knives, the forks, the spoons, the cups, the glasses, the saucepans, the chopping boards, if we need those, then we need to commit to looking at the dishwasher differently. We need to look at the dishwasher as a shared responsibility. Not it's your turn or my turn, not territorially. We need to look at it as a shared responsibility. And what we look at is everybody taking ownership. When we go to the dishwasher, if it's full and it's clean, let's empty it. It takes 5 minutes. But let's do that without thinking. Let's create that habit of taking ownership of the dishwasher needing emptying. Because then what happens is the plates and the bowls that are by the sink can be put in the dishwasher. Now, if we start to create this self-ownership within this shared responsibility, what kind of behavior do we then start to create in others? So what we saw was my son coming in and putting his stuff in the sink, and my daughter saying, I'm emptying the dishwasher, give me a minute, you can help put the stuff in. So now they're holding each other to account to the shared responsibility of the dishwasher. No malice, no animosity, no dictating, no telling each other what to do, asking for help to fulfill the task that we all need fulfilling. Shared responsibility. But it starts with somebody, a leader, having a conversation to go, guys, there's something here and it's creating a problem. It's also creating another problem over here, which is in the sink, and another problem over here in the bowl. But actually what it's creating is a behavior and a set of behaviors around potentially laziness, potentially not my job, potentially somebody else's response. All of that sort of stuff, which is more toxic than it's just dishes in the sink, Ad. What are you getting so dramatic about? No, these are little things that can be altered, little things where we can make changes. But those little changes, compound effect of these little changes over a period of time, shifts attitude, shifts identity, shifts environments. So that shared responsibility now in our house around the dishwasher, we are acknowledging, accepting, and committing that it's all of our responsibility. Just think about that for a minute. What parts of your life and business can we tackle shared responsibility differently? Can we give responsibility? Because when we would give responsibility, people become more responsible. So give ownership, encourage ownership, challenge ownership, support ownership. The dishwasher is not mine. That's it, guys. That's the music. Hope it's helpful. Share some thoughts. Come and have a chat. You know where we are. We don't bite. See you soon.